Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope you've all had a wonderful week so far. Welcome back everyone for another jam-packed daily market update where we keep you up to date with the latest and greatest things happening in the crypto space, but also the broader markets. And today's an interesting day because we have the Federal Reserve hosting a conference on payment innovation, and this has some of the largest financial institutions in the world attending, speaking, and of course biggest cryptocurrency companies like Circle, Chainlink, so on and so forth. So we'll start the video there. Amazon Web Services seem to be back up and running after yesterday's outage, which caused havoc in the world of the internet. Many businesses were affected as they rely on Amazon Web Services, and we said this highlights the need for decentralized systems. And actually what this also uncovered or redug up is something that we've spoken about on a number of occasions, and that is the fact that crypto claims to be decentralized whilst harnessing centralized servers like Amazon Web Services. If you look at proof of stake networks such as Ethereum or Cardano, actually they rely quite heavily, as far as their node situation is concerned, on services like this. And if there was any kind of a major outage, you would find that a lot of nodes would actually go offline and these networks would end up more decentralized or more sort of centralized, potentially decentralized as well. But this really highlights the need for DePin, which is decentralized physical infrastructure. And I do believe that the likes of decentralized compute will make a real return. And of course, Dominic Williams chiming in on this with ICP. There was a lot of scrutiny thrown at Chris Larsen, people claiming that Chris is dumping Ripple or XRP on crypto investors of the XRP token. We're going to be investigating this. There was lots of reports that he offloaded 50 million XRP worth $120 million. We're going to break this down. People really do think XRP is a scam. I have no idea why. I think it's fundamentally going to change the markets. Not just the markets, but how global money is moved. How money is moved globally is a better way of putting it. And it really is a new paradigm shift in the same way that sending an email instead of a letter is a paradigm shift. And I think it's very unique in that. Also news that we should maybe just cover to kick things off straight away, that Up Only is back. This is from Brian Armstrong. The rumors are true. We bought the NFT. Up Only is coming back. And I believe this was bought for $25 million. And this includes 8 episodes of Up Only. That's $3 point something million per episode. I'm not quite sure what viewership this had at the height, but this is interesting news. We wanted to cover it. Up Only was actually, I think, a good kind of podcast, obviously by Kobe and a number of others. Interesting to see that return and who they have and how $3 point something million an episode gets spent. Let's kick things off with what's taking place today. Probably the major news of today, and we'll tackle the crypto markets. A little bit down in the dumps today. However, do not fear, we will get over the other side of this. I think you've just got a lot going on elsewhere externally from the crypto space, and we're still feeling the ripples of that liquidation event, the largest liquidation event in history. Max pain is to the upside, not downside, by the way. And that's where the markets will go after they've wrecked retail. Exchanges have a lot to blame there, so on and so forth. So do the influencers that promote leverage trading. We, of course, don't, for good reason. It would make sense, in my opinion, for the markets to go up because that's where kind of max pain is. And, of course, we've got all the technical merit for that we need. Today, the Federal Reserve is hosting, on October the 21st, which is a Tuesday, a conference on payment innovation. And this is going to be interesting. We will follow along with this. We'll probably be reporting substantially on this tomorrow. The conference will feature panel discussions on several aspects of payment innovation, including coverage of traditional and decentralized finance, emerging stablecoin use cases, and business models, the intersection of artificial intelligence and payments, and the tokenization of financial products and services. The conference, or the Payment Innovation Conference, will be live streamed for the public at thefederalreserve.gov. You'll be able to watch this. This will be kicking off today. Should be very interesting what's said. The reality is that money is going to move on chain. Everybody is going to be using crypto, whether they like it or not. And the opportunity here for us as investors is we're still yet to see that take place. It's akin to betting on internet enabling companies that are some of the largest in the world today pre-mass internet adoption. It's the same formula that we have. Every generation has an opportunity. Crypto is ours. And people are going to look at the opportunity with crypto in the same way that people look at boomers with houses. Everybody talks about how cheap boomers got their houses. Housing and the pricing of housing is really a money equation. In my opinion, houses move with M2 more broadly. And, you know, that's really what's gone on there. You know, if you think about 8,000, some people bought their house, like, for example, I'll use a story of my grandparents, £8,000 they bought their house for. It's now worth probably £750,000. Well, £8,000 was a lot of money back then. It's not today. You know, £750,000 perhaps it is. Anyway, I digress. Amazon Web Services recovers after day-long outages hit major sites. Amazon Web Services, which suffered a major outage, is the leading provider of cloud infrastructure technology, accounting for about a third of the market. By Monday evening, the company said all Amazon Web Services returned to normal. The Down Detector previously showed user reports of problems on sites including Amazon, Snapchat, Disney+, Reddit, and Canva. I, of course, had issues with Canva personally myself. I think Canva's a great platform if you're a creator. You should get it. We don't have any referrals. It's something we use and we like a lot, despite yesterday's delays, which were really caused by Amazon Web Services. And we did say that you wouldn't have this problem if you use decentralized infrastructure. And there's an entire sector in the cryptocurrency space called DePin, which I think is really yet to have its time in the sun. But it's an opportunity that's worth looking out for and paying attention to, because it would eradicate this, and maybe actually you see big companies have to adopt this. And this was interesting. It said Amazon Web Services down and the internet stopped working. But the blockchain, it never wait a minute, scratch that. This sector is a joke. Everyone preaching decentralization and censorship resistance, but reality, it's all 100% reliant on the cloud. Not 100%, but a lot of it is reliant on the cloud. Polygon mainnet was having issues according to this, so on and so forth, or the APIs were. Infrastructure is experiencing an outage. This is from customers in growth, and customer tiers with failover enable will have their traffic forwarded, so on and so forth. So really this is just highlighting some of the issues that occurred with crypto infrastructure. And the thing is, a lot of crypto obviously exists on kind of Web 2, which is really enabled by the likes of Amazon Web Services. And we are looking to move away from this, I think, or there could be a major shift away from this with DePin, decentralized physical infrastructure, of which you can incentivize decentralized computing, which wouldn't have these problems. There are other problems that arise. Then you will say, but lefterists, you can still run your own node, connect to it, and do it without relying on the cloud. Good. Do you do this? Really? Come on, be honest. If your entire space or ecosystem is built on top of the cloud services, this is what you teach new users, and 99.99% of your users are just using the cloud, then I am sorry, but you have not built a censorship-resistant decentralized system. You've built a joke. I think, putting it very bluntly, to be honest, but definitely definitely getting to something here. And actually with decentralized systems, like, for example, ICP or some of the other DePin stacks out there, NewNet's one that we like. And, if you look at, we had the CEO of Fetchon, obviously they've got Kudos, which is decentralized computing. It kind of, if you think about how important the internet is, the running of it literally could affect people to the tunes of billions of dollars across the board. And there needs to be a way to make sure that it doesn't have these kind of outages moving forwards. Certainly one of the biggest threats to certainly the business world here in the West is any kind of an outage on a big scale of these services. It really does raise a lot of questions, and decentralized systems can combat this. And I want to spend a bit of time on this. This is from Dominic Williams, I think he's the CEO of Definity. An Amazon Web Service outage has taken out large chunks of the internet. TLDR, Definity is working to extend the internet computer so it also runs over big tech clouds, as well special hardware to make that massive compute capacity secure and reliable too. More soon. There's other people working on this. I just want to highlight them. It is very interesting, this kind of, the power of decentralization. I mean, Bitcoin is the original DePin network. for all intensive purposes. It created a way. Satoshi solved many problems. One was, how do you incentivize participation in a network? How do you incentivize people to give up their compute to partake in a network for, in Bitcoin's case, mining and validating Bitcoin? But you can apply that to really anything, and this is the broader application of distributed ledger technology. And I think that we're still in such an early stage that really all has to be fleshed out, but it's very exciting to be here at the time that we are. Chris Larsen coming under fire. I'm not familiar with these accounts. This is not me bashing these accounts at all. I have no experience with these accounts, but this was all over Twitter. This is just some of them now. Chris Larsen, Ripple co-founder, just offloaded 50 million XRP, worth $120 million in the past hour. Still buying the hype. He's cashing out. You're holding the bag. This was another one. I think this individual has over 120,000 followers. No shade on the individual at all. XRP is a scam. The only way Ripple and its execs make money is by dumping XRP on retail. And this, of course, is quoting the first post. Well, of course, yesterday we had huge news. Let's just cover it. Ashish and the team are building something special with Evernorth. We are proud to partner with him and proud to be joining an incredible set of investors, including SBI Holdings, Pantera Capital, Kraken, GSR, and RippleWorks to support Evernorth as it participates in institutional lending, liquidity provisions, and DeFi yield opportunities for XRP. They've raised $1 billion to effectively purchase XRP in the open market, and their goal is to garner as much XRP as humanly possible per share through various apparatus. And of course, Chris Larsen is a backer of this. David Schwartz, who's going to be leaving Ripple, will actually go on the advisory board. This was huge news that took place yesterday. This is the kind of micro strategy to Bitcoin Evernorth will be to XRP. And this is where that money essentially came from. This is Chris Larsen clarifying. He says, congrats to Ashish and the Evernorth team on today's launch. Evernorth fills the missing link between XRP capital markets and XRP usage in DeFi products. I'm proud to invest 50 million XRP in the firm. You may see some wallet movement today. So not dumping, just, of course, giving $50 million to Evernorth and being very public about it. People really do believe XRP is a scam. I don't believe it is. That's my technical assessment or my fundamental assessment of XRP. I think actually it's an entirely new way of doing global money remittances. Certainly between two currencies. Yes, stablecoins solve a hell of a lot of problems. They make capital more efficient because you don't need to lock it up. You can send it instantly. They make it cheaper to do so. They take out loads of costs, but they don't solve the problem of being able to bridge from one currency to another or to essentially do global trade in a world where there's multiple different currencies. You don't need XRP, by the way, in a world where we all just accept the dollar. That's not a world that we're ever going to have, I believe. And I don't think it's a one world system that is coming or a one world currency that is coming. It's a one world system. And I think this is the sort of one world. It's a one world currency system that I think we're effectively looking at. Last little bit of news. We covered it at the start. Obviously, Up Only is coming back as Coinbase bought this NFT for $25 million. That's $3-point-something million per episode. We'll see what comes out of this. Should be interesting. So all the best of luck to Kobe and his team on this. And when it comes to crypto, the cryptocurrency market's just lackluster. We're not worried at all. There's broader things happening. This is a great place for Bitcoin to bounce, in my opinion. And I do think it will. And ultimately, we've got a lot of confidence in regards to the overall market, what we're looking at, individual altcoins, so on and so forth. You know, we've got mining stocks that are doing fantastically. We've got quantum computing stocks that are doing well. We've got DATs that are doing quite well. We looked at another DAT just the other day. And of course, crypto, even despite everything, we're still not doing too badly on whatsoever. And we think there's real bright days ahead of us as the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, is about to venture into all-time highs. Bitcoin we see continuation for, and altcoins really get rocking and rolling at a time when we believe Bitcoin dominance is about to fall. You just need to get over the kind of chop that we're experiencing. Obviously, not Friday just gone, but the one previously really hasn't helped anyone. It's fatigued people to perhaps more of a degree, which I'm sorry about. But this is just how things go. This is crypto at the end of the day. Understand the nature of the beast that you're dealing with. Pullbacks like the ones we've seen are actually normal in the lens of a crypto bull market. Certainly not a traditional bull market. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you all. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you all in the next.